Greetings, Dr. Joseph Martin. Isaac Luria, the Arizal, or commonly known as the Ari, one of the great, more modern founders of Kabbalah and putting together what we know as the Zohar. Zohar means splendor or radiance of the light, the one light of spirit. Again, with the Ari, as with the Baal Shem Tov, the video I've just done, I'm not going to give you all the particular physical characteristics or places. I want to focus at the core, at the center, of the heart and soul of who the Ari is. He was born in Jerusalem in 1534, and he lived a short 38 years and dying in 1572. Of course, no one ever dies. The light is eternal as the soul is. When he was about to be born, an angel appeared, apparently, according to knowledge and legend, to his father, and said that a son would be born who would be a great light to all the people, and that this son would share the radiance and the splendor of the light with all the people, and would redeem and release the people from their evil in their minds and hearts. And so it came to be that the Ari, Isaac Luria, was born in Jerusalem in 1534 in our common era. Early on in his life, he lost his father, and he married at the age of 15 a cousin. And he was deeply mystical and spent most of his time alone. He did not speak much, and when he spoke most often in Aramaic, not in the Hebrew language. His maternal uncle brought him to Cairo, and there as a teenager and a young man, he spent 7 mystical, meditative years alone on the banks of the Nile, only speaking very briefly to his wife and his 2 children when necessary. After a time, he went to Safed and lived there the rest of his life. What are the most remarkable characteristics of Isaac Luria, the Ari? As I've said, he came to bring the one divine spirit radiance and spontaneity of the light to all the people, not just the Jews, because Kabbalah is for all the people. This one great light shows the importance of understanding evil in the universe and in our human nature and how to deal with it. And although there were many, many other Kabbalists at that time, and some just previous to him as well, dozens of them in fact, too numerous to mention, and blessings and peace be upon them all. He was remarkable in sharing the need for every individual during their lifetime to understand their Tikkune, or their moral, spiritual, psychological correction. And this is what he did. He brought the understanding through Kabbalah and Zohar for what Tikkune is perhaps the central goal for one or any human life. To understand this, transmute it, and bring the light into the darkness of your soul, your mind, your consciousness, and all that you are. He revealed many of the hidden mysteries in the Torah and all other great spiritual texts of his own and other religions, for in truth there is only one true spirituality in many different flavors or forms or religions. And so the present time now, a few centuries later, say almost 500 years later now, is the emanation of this one great light of Kabbalah and the Zohar through many other more modern teachers of Kabbalah in the last century or so, and also moving now into the conscience and the consciousness of all peoples on the planet as the great Messiah consciousness, if you like, which could be deemed the Christ consciousness, the Krishna consciousness, the peacemaker consciousness, and so on, the Buddha consciousness. Now, during his life, the Ari, in the later part of his life, through his meditations, he had many conversations with the prophet Elijah, and a lot of the wisdom that he spoke about extemporaneously. He never wrote anything down and he never made notes. He just started talking. And he had one great initiate among many initiates who were his followers in the later part of his life, all students of Kabbalah and the Zohar. One great follower, initiate, Hayyim Vital, who Isaac Luria, the Ari, said, "This was one soul that was never touched by evil or darkness or the sins of Adam." And this was his student who became his scribe while he lived in a cave for the last 7 years of his life. And this student, Hayyim Vital, wrote down all the sayings of the teachings of the Ari. And there are many or several books. Perhaps one of the most well-known or most important one is called The Tree of Life, a great mystical, symbolic, and actual true metaphysical statement of the fact that human beings are a tree of life and a tree of light, and our spark is moving up the tree to the crown and back home to the unity of the one source light of all that is. So the Ari accomplished much in his short 38 years, and most of it through deep mystical meditation and contemplation and listening to the source light and source wisdom and truth of all that is. And of course, this is something that any one of us now in the 21st century and the times to come can do for herself or himself in order to unify your consciousness with the one great love light of Source. Perhaps you will want to call upon the Ari and investigate in your own heart, not through books, just in your heart, the beauty and the transcendence of what you can be and the great love and light you are when you do as he did and still does, and bless yourself with that highest, greatest, superconscious knowing of being this deep, deep, unified spark of light now joined with the one great light of all and the great love that you are, and know that and your deepest self-worth and true nature. Dr. Joseph Martin, all love and blessings. Om Namah Shivaya.